Well, the August jobs report beat expectations, with the unemployment rate falling back into single digits as the U.S. economy added more than 1.37 million jobs last month. For more on that report, I want to bring in the chief economist on the National Economic Council, Joe LaVorgna. Hi, Joe. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Greta. Thanks for having me.
President Trump has touted that August jobs report, even holding a Labor Day press conference to speak about the economic recovery seen so far amid this pandemic. What's your reaction to the latest jobs report?
It was absolutely great news. The unemployment rate at 8.4%, which, by the way, every ethnic group, every age group basically saw a big drop in the month of August. That is just tremendous news. And to put it into context, there were the vast majority of private sector forecasts didn't think you'd be below 10 until maybe next year at the earliest. And here we are, we're at 8.4. It's the second biggest drop ever, only behind what we saw in June. So it's very good news. The president knows he's working hard. He threw executive order to get more assistance to people who need it in their pockets, but we're progressing along quite nicely. Much faster than what many had thought. We got more work to do, but the numbers speak for themselves, and they were excellent.
The Biden campaign and other Democrat leaders have attempted to downplay the job growth that's been seen over the past 4 months, claiming the economy is not actually recovering. What's your response to that message from the left?
My response is look at the Atlanta Fed GDP now, which is a nonpartisan, widely followed metric of where they see the economy. And they're at about a 30% rate for the third quarter, which would be an all-time record. We've never seen anything like that. We've got a housing boom. Total home sales now are the highest since December of '06. Auto sales, as the president highlighted, about 75% from the April low. Will soon be back at last year's levels. We've got manufacturing boom, the ISM, a very widely followed measure of factory activity in the mid to high 50s. We've got retail sales through this whole pandemic. They're actually 9% now year to date. They're at an all-time record high. So we're seeing all these various booms. The president's pro-growth policies, which got us to a great place back in February, are now reasserting themselves. That strong foundation is there, and we're seeing a recovery. We've got a lot more work to do. There's no question. That's why the president has used executive orders to give a payroll tax holiday, student loan assistance, eviction moratorium mitigation, all sorts of programs and things to try to get the economy moving even faster. But as I said, the forecasts for the third quarter are going to be monumental. You have even some private sector forecasters who are now over 30%. So this is all good news. Again, it's not politics. This is just what the numbers are showing.
That jobs report does come as stimulus talks do remain in a deadlock. The Senate is reconvening today, with relief being their top agenda item. House returns next week. What are the priorities you believe should be included in a relief bill at this point?
President, in the last set of negotiations, there was, I believe, $105 billion that was going to states and local governments for pandemic relief. You had PPE equipment that was going to go to people, testing, and that was actually $5 billion more than what the Democrats had wanted. So the president said, he'd like to negotiate if the Democrats are willing to move in good faith. They haven't been, and we'll see what happens. But again, absent those actions, the president has been very forceful in doing whatever powers he has to try to get more and more people the help they need. The job numbers are moving in the right direction, and if we do more than what's necessary, even better.
All right, and those relief talks do come ahead of a possible government shutdown at the end of this month. Could we possibly see relief tied into a larger spending resolution, or are we looking at those two issues as totally separate issues?
I can't speak to what the negotiators are looking at. Certainly, if we get a bill that makes sense, that would be the best of all possible scenarios. But as I said, the other side has to meet us halfway, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Joe LaVorgna, the chief economist on the National Economic Council, joining us to discuss the August jobs report and economic recovery amid the pandemic. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.